home turf of that man, Joseph Parker. And that reminds you that if Ruiz can win the fight, he'll be the first.
He's really good, but it looks like that straight right hand from Parker may have already put a little bruise on.
He's dynamic and aggressive and punches in combination.
Center of the ring against Andy Ruiz, and they New Zealand from Big Bear, California.
Going back first, he uses those feet first as defense, whereas Ruiz used
as his training camp in Big Bear, California. And you see this 12-round battle for a heavyweight belt. You see the Mexican trim
getting 35 pounds off of Andy, helping Andy become more mobile.
Roy Jones and Max Kellerman with me as these two very.
I like the tempo that both guys are fighting at.
Yeah, this is if you imagine Ruiz in a little different shape.
Reaches forward with the 1-2 combination.
Actually seem to have even a little more steam on him already.
They thought that the clap for 10 seconds. 50 out, coming out of that first round.
And very technical style, kind of
good fighter, guy who puts punches together, quick hands for a heavyweight, and we never
all guys like Joseph Parker, and yes, Ruiz, and obviously Anthony Joshua, yet, but he seems to me a little more explosive.
Joseph Parker, as he got his jab in several times.
A lot of Eastern European style fighters at the top of the head.
And hand speed showing up as he
was a fun round of boxing to watch in the heavyweight division. It's pedigree.
Roy Jones does Andy Ruiz having
that comes from being around more seasoned fighters.
Took straight right hand. Gets the drop on Joseph Parker here in the second round.
We got a good fight going on now. They usually want to throw the big shots to the head to try to get the other guy out. Exactly, and either guy could land that big knockout shot because
dictating. He's the guy with the initiative.
Landing 10 punches as opposed to only 6 in round number 1.
He does it sometime, but he's waiting a little too much, and then
on the air many times, Roy. Even though Parker is that
because if he continuously goes forward, he stands the risk of running into a headbutt for heavyweights. And you don't often see heavyweights.
Parker draws proving oohs and ahs.
Parker just fighting defensively.
It's not really good for you in a close fight. But that's what happened to him.
It serves his interest to allow Andy Ruiz to get off first in some instances.
Like Max says, he has to counter that attack. He can't just let it happen.
Good one in Auckland. Andy Ruiz comes back with a straight right hand and a left hook.
Andy Ruiz, Jim, I thought he won rounds 2 and had a very hard puncher, but he throws terrific combinations, and very often.
Andy Ruiz is somebody to whom Abel Sanchez can bring
a little more poise than Olin ever showed us. Olin was a good fighter. He was kind of exposed.
That Parker has to expect.
No, stop.
In up there, and of course, the fact that they are training shoulder to shoulder with Gennady.
And a heavyweight, and was a compact little guy for the division, and fought more.
Nor the poise that we see with Ruiz. Ruiz can have poise
that now attaches to Abel Sanchez, who has become a gym legend within the sport.
And it's an interesting fight so far.
And certainly it's been a very live. Joseph Parker there on the screen.
Yet, compared to the last fight that we saw,
fight isn't.
Yeah, compared to that, this is the thriller in Manila.
That's what I'm trying to tell you. So don't say it's not a firm who didn't have a lot of skills, a lot of skill set. They just depend on the vision. These are two guys who are well-rounded boxers with craft, with skill.
Maybe not as proven on the world stage as is Abel Sanchez. But his standard walk-around New Zealand name is so
okay. If you're going to lose a fight anyway.
But the only thing that he's probably thinking is that when you attack.
Kevin Barry, trainer for Joseph, has performed so far in this situation.
See what Parker just did?
A spell of inactivity there for a moment. Something he's going to have to do to be effective as the fight goes on.
Yes, he is.
Hey, take it away from him.
Central Time in Omaha, Nebraska, where
Jim, I hate to say it, and he's not going to buy into those jabs.
So you're saying that Joseph,
that pawing jab, I like his crisp jab.
Yeah, but that pawing to be more comfortable.
Well, I mean, the fighters who try to emulate.
I know you are by nature very bashful, but rest
assured it's these moves. I see a lot of my particular moves happening in the heavyweight division.
And there were body shots involved.
Looked like the 12th round of
hard works outdoes it all. See that? That was one of my favorite.
So we're midway. How do you have it scored midway through?
Jim, I got it 4 rounds to let go of that right hand like he did in rounds 2-2, Joseph Parker.
Roy is a more aggressive Joseph.
That pawing jab, it makes a guy have to defend that because he knows that
The one who is more likely to back his opponent out with a hard punch is Parker.
yeah, but I'm jab at his face. Attack him more so that he's forced.
Could have gone either way. I thought Ruiz won the 4th fight at this moment.
Now that you guys have agreed that Parker changed the fight.
Ruiz was disciplining Parker at times with those combinations. And then Parker's slipping in that left kind of jab hook at times. It's keeping...
He's just being cautious because he doesn't want to give the fight away.
There's the mess. He chases Parker into the corner.
For the replays, a good hook, lead hook that landed on.
Neither fighter has ever been knocked down as
his career when he was fighting inferior opposition, and this happens to almost all fighters. Address what you brought up about giving.
Same time, I was saying that I could agree with him being more
puncher, and we've seen more variety. It won't go your way, and you stick with it, and you make adjustments, and you start
because there's less likely
more rounds. It looked like Ruiz was just maybe outclassing him a bit.
To let his hands go and trade with Ruiz because of Ruiz's greater bunch, and that's going to show up on the scorecards for him.
But it's got to be pressure. When you get in an exchange, it's in here.
Division recent years, Max Kellerman made the point earlier. Big fight with Tyson Fury having relinquished his titles and put them at play.
Entering, at least in my fun, heavyweights in the division on the rise.
definitely fun. A lot of us always talk about how non-interesting the Cuban style. 2 guys with good chins, good boxing skills.
Home turf for this fight. And that tells you something about
that scintillating performance against Malik Scott.
Goes heavily on their Cuban style.
When he fights a top-notch fighter, the real Ortiz comes out.
And he reverts to what? To more.
They have to fight the other guy. If one guy doesn't.
In England, Joshua. Round 10.
But he don't let it go enough. Look at this. He lets Parker whack him in the face.
Coming at him from Ruiz. His accuracy, Garbett.
So far, that Parker's shots like that are getting through the
guarded here in Omaha off of television monitor.
He isn't. He keeps coming forward. He lands
equation against him.
Sure, we've seen him rocked even as a pro.
Really open up, throw a lot more punches. I think the fight would be a lot.
And fighters who look vulnerable.
Joshua against Eric. Right time to be throwing body shots, Roy.
Always the right time to throw body shots. Just like he ended. Then you saw a good overhand right on the chin, followed by a short left.
Connect percentage in the fight, according to CompuBox, right now is to land, but rather to distract the opponent.
Distract him and make him keep his
hair in the last 2 rounds, and I suspect that would be the case for most
as the fight has gone on.
And right there, Jim, you did ask at the end that maybe he could have been closer to winning the fight on the scorecard.
Order, you might note that Harold Letterman is
at the end of the fight with Harold's scorecard.
Yeah, well, that's why they're really good body shots. As Parker tried to do some work upstairs just there. That
and about round 6 or round 7. Now you see Parker even throwing body shots. Good jab, contender. Good body shot.
Good body. Excellent. The aggregate records go to
the action fight I thought we might get. And a big
kept Andy at bay, although Andy just counted it really good right there.
Yeah, Andy's.
And didn't even phase Andy.
Down the stretch. Andy eats a right hand from Parker on.
Especially in a set of 12-ounce gloves.
For this round for himself.
And you see Parker doing a really good job of keeping his back.
Be what people remember.
A safe-looking 3-point lead here.
And this fight seems to be in the balance, and these guys are throwing some big shots here.
Tried to do just then.
Good, good left hook up. Such a good point, Jim. Those were hard shots. And that's
good jab again.
It's a very difficult thing, which is to change the nature of the fight.
A very close fight.